welcome to the Healing Train. I am your conductor, B.Von Squires, and today we are sponsored by Vibity Business Solutions, where business and marketing collide for a Vibity experience. But the reason we're here today is because it is the Healing Train, where ordinary people come to tell us about their extraordinary stories. Now, of course, we know everybody's trauma journey is not going to be the same. There's going to be ups and downs and twists and turns along the way. But I tell you what, the passenger that we have for you today is going to bring authenticity. She is going to bring transparency. She is going to bring her healing journey right here to us so that we can see what's possible for our lives as well. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Lisa Baxter. Lisa, can you please come on and say hello to our community?
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome here. This is a safe place for you. Now, you guys, if you don't know how this is going to work, let me tell you. I wrote a book and it's called The Energy Harvest. It is a four-phased trauma healing process that begins with identifying the trauma, and then we move on to the mindset that we have to have in order to heal from the trauma. Then we get a chance to look at all of the wonderful things that we can achieve now that we've gained some healing. And then we move on and finalize it with the sustain phase. How do we sustain the momentum? How do we keep going on those rough days? And so Lisa is going to come bring you all of that in her sharing today. And so, with no further ado, we're going to just jump right on in. Now, Lisa, I know, look at that beautiful smile. Oh my goodness. I know that you have had trauma over your life, like most of us have. Most times, trauma happens when we're really young in life and we can't make sense of it. So we do the best that we can, and we come up with ideas that aren't necessarily true, but we do the best that we can to make it from one situation to the next situation, especially in a trauma situation. So, what I'd like for you to come on to do today is tell us which trauma will you be identifying and how were you able to identify it in your life as trauma?
Mm, wow. I had so many, Shonda. To be honest with you, I'll start with a trauma of illness.
Okay.
Traumas of illness, learning about my kidneys failed. And that was a heartbreaking thing for me.
Mm.
Yeah, it was very heartbreaking because my siblings that dealt with this, a lot of them had children and babies and things. And I not only didn't have a child, I wasn't married yet, and I was saving myself for marriage and everything, being godly as possibly as I could be. And I got a letter in the mail that said, you have polycystic kidney disease. And I'm like, oh my God, polycystic kidney disease. So I'm talking to my fiance, which became my husband. And I said, listen, I don't know what this is exactly, what it means for you and I, because I knew siblings already had this disease because it was from my father. So I'm
Okay.
like, I don't know what it means, but if I was you, maybe I would run, And he says, what? He says, no, hon, I believe God. I said, I believe God, but sometimes when it comes to men, not putting them down, but an illness or from somebody you want to marry or love or start a life with, you don't want to start nobody that's sick or ill. Sometimes ill that comes maybe later, God forbid, but you don't want it in the beginning. And he
Yeah.
says, no, I believe God, and we believe God together, and we got married. But knowing that I had this disease really scared me. It
Mhm.
rocked me. You know what I mean? But I still kept believing God because even though I had it, I didn't have all the symptoms of it where my kidneys failed already. It took about 9 years before that happened. But just knowing that I had it was enough to shock me, rock my world kind of thing.
Oh my goodness. Now, Lisa, did you have some symptoms before you got the notice in the mail that this was going on with you? What was your body saying? Did you remember what that was like?
Well, to tell you the truth, when you find out what happened was too, when I did go to get checked, because my family kept saying, we got this thing in the family, you need to go see about it. But, and things like that, what they checked my urine.
Sure.
They checked my blood. But for polycystic kidney disease, you don't, that's not always all of the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have the protein issues, you'll have things in the blood and stuff like that. They'll talk about your bun, your creatinine, and things like that. But the cysts on the kidneys only can be shown and seen by a sonogram. So when
Oh
they
my.
gave me the sonogram, I saw the two techs talking to each other, but they wouldn't talk to me. So I said, well, what's going on? But I could tell by the look on their face something was going on,
Oh.
and I'm like, they said, oh, we can't say anything to you, only your doctor. So even though they act like they're not letting on that it's something wrong, you could tell that it was something wrong.
Oh
So
yes.
that's like later when I got the thing in the mail thing. I didn't really even get a call, but I got a letter in the mail instead.
Oh my goodness, a letter in the mail that you have some sort of a serious illness. For me, I would think that they would call you on the phone, be a little more sensitive in their delivery is what I was thinking, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm sure when you got that letter in the mail there, what were the emotions that you were feeling? What were you feeling at that time?
First of all, it's a long disease, polycystic kidney disease. You know, you'd have to even know what the word means, first of all. You just know something is wrong, maybe with your kidneys. That's all you
Yes.
know. But
Yes.
what it really means is you get multiple cysts all over the kidneys. And when you get these bubble looking cysts all over your kidneys, they could stop working at any point in time. It takes a
Right.
while sometimes, and sometimes it can be a fast thing or a short thing, but it's still a thing that eventually they say it's going to stop working. You're going to need dialysis type of thing. So that's what bothered me basically the most, because polycystic kidneys, your kidneys is everybody's kidney is about the size of the fist.
Okay.
But when you have polycystic kidney disease, it can grow as big as a football.
Oh my.
It can be
Okay.
heavy. I was punched in the stomach one time by one of the children. I'm a social worker. I was a social
Okay.
worker for 25 years, and I'm a health campaign manager now. But the kid hit me in the stomach, 3 years old, hit me, and I started urinating blood. That's one of the issues of having it. Not only sometimes you feel the soreness of it, or
Okay.
things of that nature, you also can urinate blood. When I did that, the doctor had me like have bed rest kind of thing, like relax, calm down. There was no medication at that time, even though they're
Sure.
doing a lot of studies and stuff about it.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, because I'm trying to imagine myself getting a notice in the mail that something was wrong with me. How would I feel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would probably have a little bit of fear, especially not knowing, like you say, a long word. These are long words. What do they even mean? I don't even know to be afraid. But maybe if I knew what they meant, I wouldn't be as.
Yes.
So yeah,
Come on.
I would probably go to Google and say, Google, what is this? What is this? Explain this to me, Google, because I don't know. You know,
Mm.
and so then
I
maybe
don't
when
think it was no Google then. If it was, I didn't know it. I
I
wasn't savvy. Not that I'm that savvy now, but I know I
sure,
wasn't savvy back then because I got
sure.
married in 95. So this was happening
Okay.
before that.
Yes, so there was no Google. So, oh my goodness, I can only imagine,
Yeah. Maybe I
being,
should have got a medical dictionary out. I don't know.
oh my.
But yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
They
yes.
were nicer once we talked in person, and they
Yes,
were a little bit helpful talking in person. Even though no matter how sweet you talk, when you sick, or you can hear like what the want want, like the
sure.
cartoon characters, the peanut game. You don't hear anything but that, because you
Yep.
got to deal with it, accept it, and live with this thing.
Right, absolutely. And I can imagine it with the trauma set in when you heard the wah. It's like, oh my God, I'm traumatized. Oh my God, what is this? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah,
Ooh.
I can see the trauma in all of that. Wow, thank you so much for that vivid picture of what that was like for you.
Yeah.
And so um we're gonna move in, I guess, now to the set phase. What did you have to think in your mind? How were you able to wrap your mind around this and finally get acceptance with it? What was that like?
Well, I I remember saying when they were wheeling me into this operating room, I said, God, you said I would not be on dialysis. And you know what he said? He said, I know, but I want you to witness a miracle. Not knowing all the miracles happen just because of this one thing. You'd be surprised. Sometimes things happen in life to you, but it helps other people or bless other
Absolutely.
people.
I
But
absolutely believe that.
yeah, you know, so it was very deep. But when he said it, it calmed me down some, but it doesn't mean you immediately accept it. But God has a way of calming you down, because if he says something, okay, he got this kind of thing. You know what I mean? He got this, we can do this, because he had made so many promises to me. I know I can't die off now or shrivel up now. I'm going to have to deal with this, live, learn, study it. You have to know what's going on in your body. You have to learn whatever you have, whether it's big or small. You have to know what is it and how it affects you, and how's it going to affect everybody around you, because everybody involved is going to get a little taste of that.
Absolutely. What I'm thinking here, and what's going through my mind as I'm listening to you tell us all about this, is the wonderful relationship that you have with God. Knowing that, like you said, He's not ready to take me home, so He must be ready to do something wonderful in my life, because I know He's not going to do anything bad to me. So He must be trying to show me that He's going to heal me from this at some point, so that everyone can see that He is God, so that everyone can
Yeah.
see His glory in my life. Ooh, that is powerful right there. That's how you were able to get to that mindset, because of the trust and the faith that you had in God.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
not the fact that you have this polycystic kidney disease, but that you have a big God that's a healer. You see what I'm saying? So I see now that you switched your mindset from one of pain and fear to one of trust and faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
how I
right.
see that happen for you.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And so I can, as in my mind, I'm imagining you having conversations with God. Lord, I trust you. Lord, I believe
Yes.
you. Yes, I'm in pain, but I know it's not going to last always. Weeping may endure for the
For a
night.
night. Come on here.
Joy is
Joy
going to come
comes in
in
the
the morning.
morning.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, I can see that that's what kept you going strong, was your faith through all of this.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
More than a conqueror through Christ that strengthens me.
absolutely.
You have to run with whatever he says. You know what I mean? You have to run with whatever you are doing. And a lot of times you can't see it. But when he wiped the tears from your eyes, you can see much clearer than you saw before.
Oh my goodness, yes. And the thing about it that I'm also hearing you say is that before you were able to go to him and get some instructions about this, you had a vision that wasn't quite clear about
Mm.
how you fit into this, how all this
Yes.
fit into your life. But then
Yes.
once God wiped those tears away, he gave you a clearer vision of how this was actually going to fit into your life. And and
Amen.
then and then of course having the siblings that already had this, you already had a taste, you know what I'm saying, of how this might play out in your life by
Yes.
watching it play out in their lives. So
Yes.
there should have been I'm not saying should have been, but in my mind, I'm thinking there might have been a little comfort in knowing that you had people in your life that could support you who knew what you were going through.
Okay. Well, I had 6 siblings on dialysis, 2 aunts, an uncle, and a mother-in-law.
Oh
One of my
wow.
brothers got on because of diabetes, because that's one of the number one causes for you to be on dialysis. So it's not just kidney disease or not drinking enough water or something. Sometimes it's hereditary. Sometimes it's your high blood pressure have gotten out of control. Sometimes those things have blown your kidneys out. A lot of times things are with diet.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out what it is. Now, what I saw with my siblings, I had to be there with them and for them. When my brother got on, I had to be there his first treatment. And I was so scared. He was scared. I was scared. And we still didn't know anything. When my sister got on, I had Mark, Yolanda, Shelton, D. Simone, Keith. They were all on, you know what I mean? And I learned something from each one of them, but it gave me a little comfort. But your journey sometimes is your journey. Your desert is your desert.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that was a desert. You know what I mean? because they was
Yes.
able to take different things away. Like I said, some of them had children. Some of them, had some of the things that it's hard to get pregnant or have a baby when you have this disease.
Sure.
And a lot of times if you know about it, you don't want to pass it on or praying that you don't.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
So yeah.
That
Yeah.
had to be kind of traumatic as well, knowing that maybe you wouldn't have children as a result of this.
I always wanted children. I've tried. I've lost so many. I thought I had only one pregnancy when the doctor said I had more than one because I've never been pregnant. So I didn't know the difference. But I said, boy, my skin looks so beautiful. And I was like, wow, what's going on? I thought it was because sex. I never had sex. So when I had it, everybody kept saying, oh, you're going to look wonderful. You're going to be blossom. Now I'm like, wow, this is doing me in, oh,
Wow, this was worth the wait, right? This was worth the wait.
yeah. What? I was 32 years old. Yes, it was.
Oh
You
my
know.
goodness. Did you guys hear that, ladies and gentlemen? I have never heard of anyone in my life a virgin at 32 years old. That's something to be proud of. That's
Oh,
something that's something to hold dear and near to you. You know
to
what I'm
God be
saying?
the total glory. Woo.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because at 32 years old, not that you're not beautiful now, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure you
Well,
had
I'm
many.
61 now,
Yes.
but yeah. And I
Yeah,
was married 23 years,
oh
before
my
my
God, how
husband,
beautiful is that? How
went
beautiful
home
is
with the
that?
Lord. But I was also 214 pounds when I got married. So, I was surprised to be a big bride. I wanted to be a small bride, you know what I mean? But I was a big one. And my husband still wanted to marry me no matter what size I was. So
There
thank
you
God.
go. There you go. That's love. That's love. Love doesn't care about those kinds of things. And I'm
Right.
so
There's hope for
happy.
us all.
Yeah, I'm so happy you were able to experience that kind of love. What a blessing. Even though you were going through, this polycystic kidney disease, not knowing how it was going to affect you or your family or your fiance, he decided to go ahead and marry you anyway, and he stuck it out with you. Wow, that is so
Yeah.
beautiful. Won't God do it? Won't he do it? That is amazing.
You
Okay, and go
you
ahead.
know what was amazing is that he became uh he was a what do you call that, a donor that was a perfect match. They said, you sure you're not related? I said, no, that's my husband, I'm not related to him. They said he's able to, he snuck and got tested because I kept telling them, I don't know if I want to get a kidney. Him and my Archbishop Robert Rochford uh talked me into getting on the list, or going for it and stuff like that,
Yes,
because they kept
yes.
saying your kidneys can work, but and said, but I waited like, years and years, almost 13 years, and they didn't start working or nothing. So,
Okay. And so you say your husband was a perfect match.
I didn't get a chance to get his kidney, but he was a perfect match.
Okay, can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Uh, what happened was he had a valve in his heart that didn't connect well. So if they would have took the kidney out, something could have happened to him on the table. I was telling him, you're the only healthy person in the family between me and him. And I'm like, I don't need you to do anything. I need somebody to stay healthy. So you be the one. I can wait. I wasn't unmiserable on dialysis. I learned a lot. The biggest problem I had, I think, was low blood pressure, passing out from that, blood and stuff, dropping and things like that.
Hmm.
But I had the fistula, you know what I mean? I had the thing in the
Sure.
chest, I had the thing in the groin, the thing in
Okay.
the neck. I
Those
don't
are
know what hole it wasn't in, but I tell you, you with him, I just was surprised, and I couldn't believe he wanted to give me that. He said, you've been on dialysis 11 years at this time, and I got to give you a kidney. I want to give you a kidney. This is enough of this. And that's what he went to do.
Oh my. Wow. What love. Oh my goodness. This perfect love from this man that saw your heart and not your physical condition. This perfect love that God sent you. He was so faithful to send you such a perfect love. I'm so happy you got to experience
Oh,
that.
me too.
Wow. How beautiful is that? Yes, indeed. Okay, and so now as we're continuing to move through, you guys, we're talking to Lisa Baxter today. She has a wonderful story. She told us about her identifying the trauma that she identified as is her polycystic kidney disease that she was told she had. She received a letter in the mail of all things, but God saw fit to continue to bless her and blessed her with a man who loved her from the inside out. And she was able to go ahead and go through her dialysis and continue to live to tell the story. She's here sharing this wonderful journey with us now. And we're going to move on into the achieve phase because we want to see what she was able to achieve that the kidney disease couldn't take from her. No, no, no.
Come on here.
Couldn't take it from her. She still had plenty of things to achieve. And so now,
Mm.
Lisa, please tell us all of the things that this kidney disease couldn't take from you. Tell us about the
Wow. What?
able to achieve.
Ooh, I tell you, I got a bigger family because you with kidney disease, you get a bigger family.
Okay.
You get more education because
Mm,
each of us teach from our lives and our
yes.
situations and our experiences.
Yes.
Okay. And let me see. I'm so excited I can't even think of
It's okay. We're
I'm
excited
so
with
excited.
you.
Oh my God. You know what I love? That God turned the illness around. And
Mm,
I started what is it? I started Blessed Kidney Connections, which is my company that connect people to the things that they need. So if you came to me because your rent was running low or you needed a job or you need an apartment, I'm also a resourceful social worker. So I Blessed Kidney Connections connected you with what you need. And every
okay.
job I had, I plugged it in. Even while in my church community, I plugged it in my working community, I plugged it in. So each time they'll get resources for what they need, I threw it on social media. So that was helpful. Starting the Lisa Baxter show, which I have on YouTube and Google and cable. I've had my show for 16 long years, and I interview all type of dialysis kidney warriors, transplant warriors, people that have resources to help people with a disability or help people, period. Whether you're sick or not, the show would be a blessing to you because you'll hear somebody's story, you'll get help at the same time, and you'll learn something at the same time, and we want you to feel better. So we tried to do everything. That's why I'm so in love with your show, because I'm so touched by what you're doing. I'm so blown away, girl. You rock. I ain't mad at you. You ain't never lied. So I was able to write 7 books, but I was only able to do 3 of them that I published, and all of them teach with kidney disease from children on to adults. My books have been in schools. I've donated them to prisons because prisoners and have also kidney disease and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
while I'm teaching in the youth prisons and stuff like that, teaching religious studies, I was able to share these things with them because it's heartbreaking to see a child on dialysis or a baby,
Ooh,
a teenager, and even an adult or a senior citizen. You
sure.
know what I mean? It's just heartbreaking because you can see it in their face and
Mm,
on their face. And
mm,
you have to think of something that if the show couldn't reach them or I couldn't reach them in person because I traveled all around the world telling a story, teaching and stuff like that, my show would go there or my books would go there.
mhm.
And these are my books. This is my
Tell us
first
about
book.
them. Tell us about them one by one.
This is my first book, Through the Eyes of a Dialysis Patient.
Okay.
All right. And this breaks down everything that I was dealing with and went through in the dialysis center, outside of the dialysis center. Illness can affect marriage. Illness can affect people being afraid of you. People that known you for years, love you. They don't know how to take you because your skin color changed, your eye color changed. I don't drink or anything, but my eyes look bloodshot. My skin got very dark. And
Oh
people say, "Oh
my.
my God, Lisa, what happened? You got so dark." Sometimes people don't know what to say, and then sometimes they'll treat you like an invalid, or they'll treat you like you need extra help, or they ignore it altogether.
Oh
You know,
my.
so you just got to be prepared and ready for that and deal with it. So, Through the Eyes
Wow.
of a Dialysis Patient is my first book.
Okay.
My second book is a children's book, Melzy Takes Dialysis to Show and Tell. Okay. And Ribbit Gets a Kidney is my third book.
Ribbit.
Yeah. Ribbit is a frog that got a kidney.
Oh
And,
my.
so I
Ah,
want it to be an inspiration. I want it to be a blessing. So I don't only sell the books, I also donate them to people that don't have the money, or things like that. Not that it costs so much, but still you have to find a way. You got people that's proud and say, "Oh, I don't need nothing for free." So I say, "Well, I say, oh, you got $2 or $5 or $1." They say, "Yeah." They feel better paying for it. So I
sure,
do that to that type of group. But the
sure.
other ones that need it as a donation, I will send it as a donation. I've sent it to libraries and all kind of places, hospitals, my high school, my junior high school, every place I could send it, everywhere. So just to be a blessing.
Oh my goodness, and how creative you were with that too. Not only speaking to the adults, but also to the children to help
Mm.
them to understand kidney disease at a young age. And I love the idea of Ribbit getting a kidney, so then you made yourself a new character and everything. How creative, Lisa. How awesome is that? I'm really proud of you and the
Oh,
work that you have done. That is really, really tremendous. And you say that you traveled all over the world and taking your show into all these wonderful places. I'm so excited and I'm just like in awe right now because I would love my show to be something like that one day. But we'll see what God has to say about it. You know what I mean? And
oh
right
yeah.
now, it is what it is. And I'm just so grateful to be able to bring you on today so that you can talk to our community and give us some information about kidney disease and also to share your wonderful, triumphant story with us. And
Oh,
so
thank
you had,
you.
yes, you were able to achieve so much and undoubtedly able to touch so many souls out there. So, oh my goodness, I can see your crown now. God's got that crown waiting for you with all those jewels in it. You know what I'm saying? Getting all those jewels. Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. And so
To
we're going
God be the glory.
to
But
absolutely.
your show was going to go places. I don't know what you're thinking about, but your show is going to go places because you're going to get more people on there than you have. And you're going to get more different stories and testimonies than you have. Not that they're not already wonderful, but sometimes it just gets better and better. And
I am
sometimes you have to have a repeat offender, as I would say, because some people I had while they were on dialysis, and then when they got the kidney, I had them come back on the show, or something changed in their life. Maybe they had a baby, opened their own business, whatever they did different or new or wanted something else to say, I brought them back on. And sometimes I brought them on as a group. So there's so many
true.
creative ways you could do it and still get that story out there. Thanks for riding this train. Yeah.
I love it, Lisa. I love it. Thank you for all those great ideas. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if you guys remember Dr. Ramathia Webster that was on here. She's actually a relationship to Lisa and sent her name in as a passenger. And I'm just so grateful to Ramathia for
It's
sending
my
you because she's
baby.
such a blessing to us today. And
Uh-huh.
so as we continue to move on to the sustain phase, Lisa, I want you've done so much. All of this with kidney disease, okay? I know people that don't have kidney disease or any other disease and have not accomplished half a fraction of the things that God has allowed you to accomplish in your illness, even. And so I'm just grateful to God, for allowing you to achieve so much. And so now what we want to know is how in the world do you sustain that beautiful smile? How do you sustain that positive energy, honey? How do you keep going like the Energizer Bunny when you yourself go through so much? How do you sustain it all? Can you please tell us?
Well, I stay prayed up, you
Mm-hmm.
know. One thing I love is I love to give back and stay busy. So the Polycystic Kidney Disease Foundation, the American Kidney Association of Patients, the Renal Network, you know what I mean, iPro, and the different things. What I did is I became get on board of those things. I would be get on the board as a board member. I would volunteer with them. I would, do the kidney walks. I would raise money. I would donate, whatever
Wow.
they need me to do, I would do. So that made me feel better. And the fact that God kept me through all of this, I always got to give him the glory. I always got to give him the praise, And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to go. If he didn't sustain me, you know, I wouldn't be able to live this or go through this or handle this in any type of fashion or any way. I always say, just take God with you, keep him with you. You know what I mean? Keep him with you. You know what I mean? He's a jewel, a pearl. He's a giant, and he's a sweet, loving, caring giant that cares and loves you. And whatever your dream is, whatever what's wrong with you, he will still keep you through it. He will get you through it, make you through it, and he'll make you triumph. He'll give you V for victory every time.
Man, wow, that was awesome. I know, that was so awesome because we do know that God is a keeper. We do know that He will keep us if we allow Him to. If we put our trust and faith in Him, there's nothing He would not do for us because of the love that He has for His children. And that's who we are. We are His children.
Mhm.
I know for myself, sometimes I just don't feel like me, like I would like to feel. Some days I wake up and I feel like it might be one of those off days. And so on those off days, I try to listen to affirmations or I try to listen to something that's going to feed my spirit because I know
Oh,
that's where
yeah.
it begins. It begins in my
Hmm.
spirit man. And when he is where or she is where she needs to be, then everything else just kind of falls in place where it's supposed to be. And so when I feel like I'm kind of off balance a little bit, the first thing I do is go feed my spirit. I talk to God through my prayer and meditation, which is something that we also talk about in the book. Now,
Yeah.
can you see how prayer and meditation has changed your perspective over the years with your
Oh, yeah, yeah. I love the Psalms. I love I wake up with prayer. I pray
Mhm.
first and I read the word before I go to work or go into the bathroom or anything. I start with God from the jump and I
Right.
end with him from the jump. I pray before I go to bed and everything. And even throughout the day, sometimes things are going a certain way I don't like it to go. And I start praying. You know what I mean? Sometimes even if it's going good, then I give God thanks, I give him praise,
Hmm.
but I just love the word of God, you know. And it's so funny. I'm laughing because I know so many scriptures and nothing's coming to mind. But everyone that you said, I got so excited about and was able to quote it with you. I hate when I draw a blank, but I tell you this, that prayer changes things. And a lot of times prayer changes you.
Mm.
Sometimes he'll change you in a situation to make you understand or deal with the situation better. He won't take it
Absolutely.
away. That's like the thorn in the side thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But he'll show you how to deal with that thing.
Ooh,
You know,
you
how
just
to
had a
rock with
mouthful.
that boat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's a mouthful you just said. He might not change the situation itself, but he changes the way you think about it, the way you see it, and the way you feel about it. And when those things change, the whole situation has changed. Do you know? You know what I mean?
Amen.
When
Yeah.
you change your perception, everything else changes. And so I'm really happy to hear you say that. That was so powerful. So powerful. Oh my goodness, Lisa. I'm having such a good time with you today. I'm having such a ball. This is such a
Me
great,
too.
great train ride today.
Me too. Whoop, whoop. Me too. I tell you. It's a
Ab-
true great ride. It's a true great ride. I just thank God for you. I thank God for having my transplant. I call my transplant Hannah, my kidney
okay.
transplant Hannah. And listen, we didn't get a chance to have a baby. My husband wanted to name the baby Hannah, so I named the kidney Hannah. So everybody always
Aw.
talks about Hannah. Hannah this,
Um,
Hannah that. So
that is so precious. That is so precious. So you did actually achieve your kidney.
yeah, Hannah's
Oh,
sitting right here.
well, tell us about that. We didn't hear about that part. You want to tell us about that part? How
Sure,
did you feel
sure.
when you found out you had a kidney, a perfect match? You know that.
Wow.
Oh my goodness! Please tell us about that.
Well, they called me 4 times.
Okay.
First time, a child had a bad situation, some children. So I told them, give the kidney to that child.
Sure.
Second time they called me, I had a bad cold. I had a bad cold. I was in the ambulance. Matter of fact, they called on me while I was at dialysis. They called them because I kept saying I'm going to see about it. I did see about it, but they wanted me to see about it like now in a hurry. So they called the ambulance on me. So while I'm in the ambulance, I get a phone call and I'm like, who? And they said, the hospital, Mount Sinai. So I said, what? So I said, "Oh no, I'm on my way to a hospital now." And they said, "Oh no, if you sick, we can't give you the kidney." So third time, I believe, or it could have been the other way around, with it was a intravenous drug user.
Oh,
I didn't take any drugs, and I didn't want to take a chance on something being wrong when they enter it, even though you do take a chance when you get the kidney and then
sure.
find out the donor had certain things that you now have.
Oh,
I
what?
also have, yeah, I have bone joint disease and stuff from the medications and stuff. I instead of running like I usually do and swim, I walk with a walker now, which I'm trying to get rid of, but I've had that walker for some years now. But yeah, so that time that I didn't take
Wow.
the intravenous drug one, I took the fourth one. I was at work when they called me, and I was waiting for somebody to come into the job so I could go to the hospital. And I'm like, don't wait for us. Get out of here. You know, they all came, they hugged me. They was like, oh my God, Lisa, get out of here, go. And I rode the 2 trains to go to Mount Sinai. I packed a bag, but the bag was in my apartment, so you have no chance to get the bag or anything, because they tell you to be ready, always answer the phone,
Yeah.
and you have to do all of those things because you go through a lot of tests. You go through a lot of the heart test and the
Mm-hmm.
stress test, and they check your, because they have to make sure you can sustain that long operation, about 4 hours,
Yes.
I believe. You know
Ooh,
what I
wait.
mean? And this is my fistula. I wanted you to see what a fistula looks like. This is my
Okay.
fistula in my arm where I would get dialysis. It starts out flat, and then it becomes this way because they stick you with a 15 gauge needle.
Oh my
Sometimes the
Lord.
needles are different size. Look like a little sword with a hole in it. It takes all the blood out and puts all the blood back. It recycles the blood. When you're on dialysis, that's what it's done. And I had forgotten to tell you that. I try to be clear and tell you everything. You'll
Sure.
miss something sometime. But so that was part of it. But Hannah runs well, runs good. You have to go get it checked out. In the beginning, you get it checked out often. And
Yes.
as time goes on, it's every 3 months this, every 6 months that. Get your blood check every 3 months. Go to the doctor every 6 months,
Okay.
and they see how it's going, how it's doing, so they can interrupt anything. One
Sure.
time they biopsied her. The needle was like yay long, and I'm like, why are you bothering Hannah? There's nothing wrong with Hannah. I told you, when God put Hannah in here, she would last a good while. Stop aggravating her, because when they start messing with things, stuff go out of whack. And I'm like, leave alone now, because it took me a while to get it. Now, you gonna give me another one? Cut it out. Stop it. So
You have to
so
protect your
they,
Hannah.
yeah, so you do go through a lot through these walks. And the
Yes.
medication is one of the things, because I started out with 19 pills in the morning and 16 at night. So it's 4 pills now and 2 at night.
Ooh wee.
But they're
Wow.
powerful, and you can sustain a lot of things. You could get cancer taking these pills. Yeah. So you got to get checked out with every little thing, your lady parts, you got to just get checked out, your eyes. Got a lot of problems with my teeth and my mouth. My teeth started falling out. Yeah. So
Oh
I'm supposed to be getting
my.
a new set. I thought I wouldn't be able to do this, because I thought I have to get a surgery in the hospital instead of a regular dentist, because they don't want anything to happen to me. So yeah, I just
Absolutely.
keep praying, and I believe God. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Keep it right with them. You never know when you got to go. But, keep it right with them at all times. Try anyway. You know what I mean? He knows your heart. He
Absolutely. Of
knows your
course.
heart. But yeah, a lot of things go on, but it's still a reachable goal that you can handle. And the constant pain isn't happy, with the bones and stuff, with standing and walking, but you got to be a fighter. You're in a war, so you got to keep your sword ready, which is the word, and everything. Put your whole armor on, your breastplate, everything, your helmet,
Yes.
put your stuff on, and let's ride this thing out. And we have, and we did, and we will, and we do. So that's basically it. The transplant is a good thing. It's not bad, but some people prefer not to have it. My
Absolutely.
sister Yolanda was on dialysis over 30 years. My brother was on 16 uh 16, was it 16 years? No, my sister was on 16 years, and one of my brothers died on the dialysis machine. He bled out. So you got to know your stuff, involve your family, and tell them about what's going on. Don't keep it a secret. Some people have done that. So that's why I advocate too, and talk to people one-on-one in groups too. So yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, you are just so fabulous. Thank you for all of that information that you just
Oh,
gave us. You
you're
just helped
welcome.
somebody out there who just got a letter in the mail or a phone call telling them that they had polycystic kidney disease. And now they get to hear you and hear your triumph. Now they get to know that, yes, it's going to be a tough journey, but they can make it through because you just told them that you made it through. You just told them that you put on all your armor and that you stood up to this fight and that you fought and won. You are victorious. You are triumphant. You are
Thank you,
successful.
Jesus.
And I'm just so grateful that you came here to tell us your story today. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been such a wonderful episode, as always. And Lisa, we thank you so much for being here. And now, if the people want to reach you, and I'm sure they will when they see this, how will they reach you? Please give us your info.
Sure, sure. Well, the Lisa Baxter Show is on YouTube and Google. If you look at the show or view the show, share the show, or learn something from the show, you can put something in the comment. I'm also on Facebook and as Lisa Baxter, even though there's more Lisa Baxters out there than just myself, but you've seen me, so yeah.
I got to tell them something about the Facebook thing, though, because let me tell you, you guys got to know that she's a Facebook celebrity. She's got over 5,000 viewers. And if you try to friend her, they're going to give you a little warning that says Lisa Baxter can't receive any more friends right now. She's hit her threshold. And you will wait patiently, like me, until you can get in to be her friend. I'm telling you, everybody wants to be Lisa Baxter's friend. And I see
Oh,
why. She's such a wonderful
oh,
joy. She's such a beautiful light, such an energy, such a
wow.
force. And we are so blessed to have you here today, Lisa. Thank you so much for
You're
riding on
welcome.
the healing train with us today. And with that, we're going to just kind of wrap up for this episode. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me here for another episode of The Healing Train. And in the meantime, I'm going to pray and ask God to bless you real good. And if there's something that you are manifesting for, I'm going to ask you not to give up. Keep the faith. Keep up those positive actions towards that thing because what you want wants you right on back. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week right here on the Healing Train. And so, with no further ado, love you and see you next week. Bye bye.